connectedness of all life. It's going to sound like a strange thing to say, but I feel like as a yogi, actually, sometimes people get the wrong idea about the teaching of non-attachment. It's like, okay, I'm non-attached. I'm separate. It's like, yes, you're non-attached from your own confusion, but you're profoundly compassionate, present, loving, concerned with all life and everything on the planet. Why? Because nothing exists separately. Everything is interconnected. And the tradition of yoga that I started in put a lot of emphasis on meditation, and I feel like that's a beautiful emphasis. And what it said was that basically you sit to meditate, and as a side effect of your meditation practice, certain qualities begin to just come to the surface. And one of the qualities that begins to come to the surface is peacefulness, actually. It's wisdom, joy, peacefulness, tranquility, wisdom. There are several others, but basically the natural fruits of the soul begin to sprout when we take the time to come in and acknowledge who we are. And when we've acknowledged who we are and understood who we are, we see everything else in that light, actually. And I feel like sometimes this, in the spiritual life, because we're dealing with things like peace and joy that are not necessarily in everybody's daily experience, we underestimate the potential of the power of that experience and how much it can transform people and situations. I had the privilege for a while in my life of living in Kolkata. Kolkata is this ancient and fabulous and magical city in India where the Ganga empties out into the ocean. It's a very, very, very beautiful city. And it's where Mother Teresa lived. And one of the stories that one of the residents of Kolkata told me, that at one point in Kolkata there was riots. Actually, I don't really even know what the riots were about, but there was some reason why people were fighting in the street, and it was a big riot. It was not a small riot. There was hundreds or thousands of people rioting in the street. And the story that was told to me was that Mother Teresa just came into the space, just arrived in the space, and immediately the fighting stopped. Is such a thing possible? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think that's kind of a combination between the people of Kolkata had a very profound, very loving appreciation for her as a kind of, as a mother, as a example of the Divine Mother and the care and the love of the Divine Mother for all human beings. But also I feel like part of that was just her energetic presence. It's like in the presence of one who's living profoundly connected to the timelessness of their own nature. It's like that has a kind of a power behind it, a force behind it. People could just feel, we have to stop this. And even a closer example of one of my own teachers in my own life. one of my own teachers, he was responsible for a large community of people. And in that community, of course, in any community, you have your moments where there's, I mean, I would say it was all yogis. So it's not that there's intense violence going on, but maybe there's a change in a relationship. Maybe there's a divorce. Maybe there's a divorce where somebody's been with somebody else. Unfortunately, these things can happen in life. And at one point that had happened in the community. Somebody had gotten divorced and there was another person involved, 3 members of the community. And the night after it kind of happened and the whole thing exploded, he invited all of those 3 people to dinner at his house. It's like exactly what you wouldn't want to do, right? It's like here's this like absolute powder keg of intense emotions and pain and frustration and all these things. And what was his, kind of conscious action? Bring everybody right here. Bring everybody together. Look at the situation with clarity. Um, I think before you have that level of courageousness, you have to have really profoundly experienced the natural inner peace of your own being and the potential of that peace to influence the field of energy around you. That said, it would also be a mistake to say that in the presence of a sage, every little disharmony is ironed out. It's not that way. Like I saw many times with him that, let's say I had a profound appreciation that people hear what they want to hear. But what I also feel is that we underestimate the potential of peace in action. The Dalai Lama said something, and I just happened to read it recently, and it just profoundly came into the heart of my heart and my being. What he said is that if all over the world, in every society, in every culture, we teach children how to meditate by the age of 8, in one generation, there will no longer be violence. I just felt, wow, that's for me. Like, those words are so alive in my heart. The violence in our world is so strong that some people hear a statement like that, they think it's not possible. It's not possible to overcome all this violence. So that's really profoundly underestimating the potential of our spirit and our soul, right? It's like if we are in tune with that aspect of the deeper aspect of who we are, the concept that you would need to then, arrange peace and make all kinds of contracts and do all kinds of things. It's like, no, there's no contracts needed. Like, your contract is that you see all life as an extension of your own life. Does somebody then have to tell you not to go be violent with somebody? No, there's no such need for such a thing because you understand that life is coming from one source. You honor that life profoundly. You have reverence for life. You have love for life. You have gratitude for life. You have appreciation for life. And you would not be quick to not honor that. But as I heard this thing from the Dalai Lama, which I found so profoundly beautiful and inspiring, I also felt like he's right. He's absolutely right. But if you're going to teach every 8-year-old all around the world how to meditate, you have to also teach some of the adults, right? Because one of my teachers, and it's completely true, one of my teachers, somebody asked him, how would I influence my children to meditate and practice yoga? And he said, meditate and practice yoga in the house while they're around. Because why? Because children are like sponges. They just sponge up what's coming from their environment. And they don't necessarily sponge up what you say, they sponge up what you are and what you do, right? Because you can say, okay, I'm not a violent person, but your actions can be filled with all kinds of subtle violence. When there's little or no violence present in you, they will also express little or no violence. That's, I feel like, we underestimate how much children are in their natural state, and they sponge um, everything from the world around them. So then what would we need? Even if we wanted to make those 8-year-olds around the world, we would need teachers who are teaching meditation. We would need everybody to be practicing meditation. On our course recently, somebody was asking, who, how are you going to share yoga? And I've had the privilege of teaching yoga and the yogic tradition and pranayama and meditation to literally thousands of people all around the world. And recently I've been so inspired by different ways that people are offering that practice to others. We had a woman who was a highway patrol officer. She said, highway patrol is such a stressful job. I can't wait to share some yoga and some meditation with the other highway patrol. It's just, hallelujah. Just amazing. We have another woman living in Canada. She works for Child Protection Services. Wow, that's got to be another stressful job, right? Like, you're probably seeing children in some of the worst situations of life, foster care, and all the different things that are in child protection. She said she wants to give it to the foster parents. She wants to give it to the people who work at Child Protection Services. I just was overwhelmed by gratitude for her sharing. Someone else, she works at a library, and in that library they have a large population of homeless people. She said their life is such that they're constantly in stress, they're constantly in fight or flight. I want to bring yoga to the homeless people at the library, just to give them a space where they can just be, where they don't have to worry about, the things that are happening in their life. Wow. It's like all around the world, little pockets of change are bubbling to the surface. And meditation and yoga and the power of yoga is being expressed in child protection services and with homeless people and with children and all of these different ways. When I look at that, I see the dream of the Dalai Lama is coming true. The dream of the Dalai Lama is becoming a reality. Now, you can also say there's lots of other forces around in the world, right? There's war and all kinds of things happening. But I stay with the truth of the Dalai Lama's expression. If we teach every child in the world the great tradition of peacefulness that comes not from outside, but from the joy and the contentment of your own heart, in one generation we can be free of a world that is not yet learned in the ways of nonviolence. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge all of you and to say I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you're open and open to envision and bring forth a world where yoga and meditation are so strongly felt by the beings that we free ourselves from lifetimes of suffering and violence that have plagued humanity for a long time. Let's bring something different. I think it's time. Hmm. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And in celebration of peace and of yin, we'll now have Kirsten do a little bit of yin yoga with us. So, thank you guys.
Namaste. It is an honor to be with you in the space today. Peace is just such a profound inner necessity. I feel that I feel honored to contribute on this day with yoga practice to the state of peace. Peace starts within, and I personally find yin yoga is actually a very powerful practice to create this state of peacefulness starting in from the body into the breath, from the breath into the mind, into the emotions, and from there being able to actually meet the world, meet the family, meet our beloved ones, or not our beloved ones, with this openness of the heart, with generosity, with centeredness. So I would love to offer now a yoga practice, a yin yoga practice that drops us mostly into the heart space. So energetically, it really feeds into the heart, unblocks the heart, frees the heart, um, and is there to really delve into this space. For the practice, we will need one bolster. So you might not have a bolster here right now. I'd like to give you just a moment to grab a bolster, or that can be a bigger pillow from your bed as well. All right, so let's get started. Let's get onto the yoga mats. Into a comfortable seat to start with a short dropping in and landing within. So please take a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you today. Just sit down with your spine upright, your head in line with the spine, and deeply relax your body. Take a deep breath in and close your eyes. As you exhale, soften your whole body. Take a moment to really honor this dropping into the internal space, and also honor yourself for making space to come to a peaceful inner environment. Take a deep breath in and let the breath draw all the way down, travel down to the very end of your spine, and drop your tailbone gently towards the earth. With your next inhalation, travel your spine upwards towards the very top of the spine, elongating out of the body space. Resting here for a moment above the head at your crown. feeling yourself in between earth and heaven, soft and tall. Send another deep breath right into the center of your heart, allowing the chest to expand, the rib cage to widen, and as you exhale, just drop back into softness. Just observe how it already starts internally, the process to create a more peaceful environment, a shift of vibration, of frequency towards more refined, clear present. If you feel to specifically set an intention or hold somebody in your heart or a situation in your heart for this practice, now is the time for a dedication of this practice or for setting an intention. And slowly open your eyes, come in into the space of yoga practice. We'll be starting with Sphinx. So for Sphinx, just come onto your belly. Bring your elbows roughly underneath your shoulders or just a little bit in front. And stay here for a moment and check in if that feels actually comfortable, peaceful in your body. If it doesn't, if it creates tension in your lower back, too much tension in your lower back, just use your bolster, come a little bit lower down. If you don't feel anything in this position, use your bolster and prop yourself up a little higher. So this is a practice dedicated to peace, peace starting within. So try to really find what feels peaceful and right in your body, starting with a peaceful relationship with the body. So deciding on which way you want to practice, come into the space, your elbows just a little bit in front of your shoulders. See what you want to do with your hands, palms face down or up, or palms together. See what's supportive and right. Check in with your feet and legs. There's no given position for this posture for how your legs are supposed to be. So find what feels right, comfortable in your body. The head is roughly in line with the spine, so keep it where the head can stay without any effort. That might be a complete dropping of the head. See what is right in your body. So in Yin Yoga, we try to step away as much as possible from active engagement of the body. So let's find a position in which you feel you can be disengaged and soft and comfortable. Comfortable to an extent that your breath can flow freely. So this is now your final expression. And for Yin Yoga, we'll commit to stay in this posture without movement, without engagement, ready to tap into stillness. Deeply relaxing the body. Start with the facial expression, allowing the forehead to be soft, the space between the eyebrows to be broad, your jaw to be relaxed. Ungrip the jaw, relaxing the neck, the shoulders, the chest, relaxing the arms and hands. It's almost like a sense of peace pouring into the body as we soften, relaxing back and spine, the chest, the belly, relaxing the hips, the legs, the feet. Allowing all these tensions to dissolve, to melt away, the body to be soft and light, spacious. Tap into your breath, allowing the breath to really travel into the depth of the body, allowing the breath to reflect in your abdomen as you inhale. You might feel a gentle pressing of your belly into the mat. You might feel it in the back and the kidney area, in the lung area, rib cage. And as you exhale, allow all of that to soften and drop, a sense of surrender with each exhale. If you feel to take the posture a little deeper, meaning bringing a little bit of sensation into the lower back, you can either bring in your bolster and prop your elbows onto your bolster, or you can straighten your arms. If you don't feel a need to deepen, just stay right where you are. Peace starts within. So each instruction that is coming through here is really meant to verify if that is bringing peace into your being or not. And if not, just stay away from that. Move with what brings softness, peace, spaciousness into your body, into your breath, and into your entire being. You stay here for 3 last breaths. After your third breath, in case you extended your arms, drop back onto your elbows. In case you're on your elbows, slide your elbows out to the side and rest your cheek onto the ground. The direction you're facing, take this knee and slide it out to bring a bit of a counter action into your lower spine to soften and relax. Just take a moment here in complete stillness to tap into the echo that emanates from the posture. The echo in the body, an energetic echo, or a mental emotional echo. Without judging, welcoming whatever's present in the space. In your own time, bring your head back to neutral, to the center. Slide your knee back in, and we'll get ready for the second posture. We will turn around onto our backside and we'll meet our bolster. So we'll practice open heart. For open heart, we'll sit right in front of the bolster. If you want to work a little also into your hips, opening the hips, you can bring your feet in butterfly. If you really want to stay with feeding the heart only, keep your legs out straight. So you're sitting right in front of the bolster, and from there, simply recline over the bolster. Center your palms with elongated arms right above your heart. And from there, draw the back of your hands down towards the ground. What you want to feel here in open heart is a gentle stretch on the insides of the upper arms, on the front side of the shoulders, and a gentle stretch across the chest. So with that, we are working energetically into meridians that feed directly our hearts. Come back into your state of softness and relaxation, the state from which peace actually really starts from. The facial expression is soft, forehead, jaw, the neck is soft, the throat is soft, the chest is open, soft, relaxed to receive this gentle stretch. The arms are soft and open to receive the gentle stretch. Soften your belly, your hips, your legs. Let your breath flow. If you feel that there's a bit too much thinking for what you would like it to be, just direct your breath more into the abdomen and consciously be with your breath as you inhale. Allow your abdomen to expand, and as you exhale, allow it to soften and drop. A very efficient way to actually come to more peace and the mental field. As you really allow your body to soften more and more, the breath responds and softens, and to that, the mind responds. Naturally, we are opening a space of the capacity to hold in neutrality without judgment whatever is in our field. After the initial softening of the body, usually there is another layer of depth that we can lean into when it comes to softening the physical body. Can you soften more? Let go more. Drop back into the shape more. Open into the space deeper. We stay here for 3 last breaths. After 3 breaths, if your knees are out to the sides, if you're in butterfly legs, bring your hands down towards your thighs and guide your knees back to center. If your legs are straight, bring your knees up, ground your feet, and drop towards one side of the bolster onto your side. Take a moment to simply rest here in your softness. Gently push that pillow or a bolster off the mat so that you can roll back to prepare for another posture that opens and works into the heart. It is a twist, and in this twist today, we want to pin our knee to the floor and allow space for the shoulder to open. So we'll start by bringing one knee into the chest, and from there pull the knee over to the opposite side to ground the inside of the knee onto the floor. If that doesn't work or doesn't feel right, take your bolster right under your knee to support yourself. And from there, reach your opposite arm out sideways. So as you pin your knee, you allow your shoulder to open, to create more space over time. Turn your head away from your knee and deeply relax back into the soft space of your body. If you feel that your extended arm starts tingling, just bend your elbow and rest your hand on your rib cage. Landing back in the soft space of the breath. Leaning back into this openness. This vast field into spaciousness. Being with your breath, with your body at ease, in peace. Three last breaths. And as you inhale, slowly bring your hips back onto the ground. Take a moment in neutral. Whenever you're ready for the second side, take your opposite knee into your chest. Take your hand and draw your knee over onto the ground next to you. Check in if you'd like to work with a pillow on the side under your knee and shin. So you want to pin rather than knee than the shoulder, so that we work now into opening the shoulder. Turn your head away from your knee and start back resting deeply into that shape. If you feel a tingling in your arm, bend your elbow and bring your hand onto your rib cage. If you feel that makes you lightheaded, bring your head back to center. Deeply, deeply lean into peacefulness, freedom, spaciousness, emptiness, love. Stay here for 3 last breaths. Whenever your time comes, on the inhale, slowly roll your hip back to the center of the mat and prepare yourself for Shavasana, for a deep relaxation. For Shavasana, allow for some space in between your feet. Allow your feet to flop in whichever direction naturally occurs. Some space in between your hands and your body with the palms up. If you deal with lower back pain, use your bolster and bring it right underneath your knees so that you can bend in your knees and rest your legs on the bolster. You just directly tap back into the memory of softness of the body, this gentleness, this lightness. Facial expression is completely soft. Eyes, eyebrows, forehead, jaw, soft. Throat is soft. The chest is soft. The front side of the shoulders, soft, spacious, open. The insides of the upper arms are soft. The insides of the forearms are soft. The palms are soft. The back of the hands are soft. The outside of the forearms are soft. The outside of the upper arms are soft. The chest is soft. The space around the heart so soft, open. Ribcage soft. Belly soft. Pelvic floor muscles relaxed. Groins completely relaxed. top of the thighs, the quads relaxed, the shins, the top of the feet soft, the toes relaxed, the soles of the feet relaxed, the arches, the heel, the ankle, the calves are soft, the back of the knees soft, the back of the thighs, the hamstrings soft, the glutes, the buttocks soft, the lower back is soft, the mid back, the upper back, the back of the neck is soft, the back of the head, the ears, the top of the head are so soft. Deeply marinating this softness, this peacefulness, this love that's emanating from your heart. Three last breaths in Shavasana. And after your third breath, connect back into the body shape, into the form, by gently wiggling toes and fingers, stretching, hugging the knees in, whatever feels to you right to come back into the form, rolling over to your side. Take a breath here and gently help yourself back up to sitting. Just close your eyes for a moment to tap back into this state of deep peacefulness. Let this state, this quality move you today. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in this world. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste.
Transitioning now into a short but sweet and deep peace meditation where we open ourselves to the beauty of the heart and find that deep peace within ourselves. Because if we find peace within, also organically, there will be peace in our surrounding arising. So please allow yourself to arrive in a comfortable and soft pose. And when you're ready, allow those eyes to close. Breathing deeply into the heart. Relaxing the unnecessary muscles. Softening the attitude. Allowing the mind to sink down into the heart. Perceiving the soft breath. Gently caressing the heart. feeling the warm and soft radiance shining from heart center. A sense of acceptance, detachment, and gentle loving kindness. With love and compassion, we welcome and embrace life as it is. A natural sense of peace, radiating from our open heart. Softness, and peaceful surrender. breathing. Slightly deeper. Gently moving the spine. Bringing a soft but deep smile onto our lips. Allowing the hands to meet in heart center. Bowing the mind to the heart. And then gently opening those eyes with a big smile, welcoming yourself to this life and finding the peace within and now also without in your surroundings, radiating this peaceful gratitude, this all-embracing loving kindness, welcoming with compassion also the not so peaceful moments and people, trusting that we can actually live with an open heart. Best wishes for this peaceful journey back home. Om.